Welcome to Scarecrow Miniature Painting. I'm Steven, and I do apologize for the abrupt ending in the last video. We are working on our harpy today. Now, our Aarakocra, if you did not watch the last video, which I highly recommend watching every video of this series, has been completed. The only thing left to do is to give him a wash. Now, as I said in the last video, we are going to be working on painting the pants, the body, or the pants and the wings on this one. I say pants, but it's more of a skirt. But the idea behind it is that it's going to be green. We're going to do natural highlights on it to where it shows more prominently. And then once the highlighting is done, we will move on to once the pants are done on here, or the skirt's done with the highlighting and everything, then we'll move on to our wings, and then we will move on to our wash after that. We did the eyes and the we did the eyes on her, and we did a lot of the detailing on him. And I got one more thing to do on him that I just realized we did not do. Just because we did mark him as a male peregrine falcon throughout the whole video, and male peregrine falcons have a special detail native to them through dimorphism. We're just going to paint through her. We're going to try to get as detailed as possible we can on here. Now, like usual, we did thin our paints to make sure that we can get inside these recesses and get every nook and cranny. And it also gives a nice even coat. We are almost done with her. And while that's drying, I'm going to move on to the final detail on him. So, this is a perfect time to start the transition of the reds, getting them on the palette. So, just gonna put a little dragon blood, or dragon red right there, not dragon blood. I'm just gonna put a little bit of vampire right there. And per usual, we are just going to add a drop to each. We're going to mix those together. And I'm going to pull some. All three, like so. So we're going to start with vampire red. Like so. And we're going to move on to our next brightest highlight. Now, I'm just putting a little dot there because that one turned more into a wash, as you can see. Then we're going to bring up our next brightest highlight. Right on top. There we go. Okay, back to our pants. So we're almost done. We just have a little bit on the back here. A little bit of touch up on the front. And she is done. Now, I did say in the last video we were gonna take some red. We're gonna accent these little rings. On your skirt. Now, obviously, with some of those, they're almost impossible to get to. But what we're going to do next, we're going to take from the top down and take our mixture on both sides of the wings. We're going to bring it down to about that last little section. So while we're letting that dry, we're going to begin our highlighting of her pants and her shirt. So the reason I put that there was because with both of these colors having different, I wouldn't say accents, but different hues. Because one green is definitely a little darker than the other. One green's a little bit more prominent. I just wanted to get both greens on the palette at the same time so I can kind of mix them up. Get a good medium going between them. Right there's a good one. I do want to add more of this green because I did a little more of that to get some pigmentation on it. And then we're just gonna very front highlight that like that. And we're going to take some of that. It's dry. I'm just going to take it over the exact same spot, a little bit higher. So now I'm going to take this green. I'm going to take this green. I'm going to mix them up to get this green. Now I'm just going to take that over anything that has a recessed edge. Like so. Now I'm just going to clean off the brush. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to pick up that green. On the very highest recesses is where that green's going to go. Now, we move on to pure dragon red. So I'm trying to stay on the inside of the wings. I'm trying to stay within about 2/3. So I don't want to lose that highlight that we left. Now it's hard to see because it's dragon red and what you call it, vampire red are eerily similar. So the next highlight, we're just going to go a little bit more towards the top, so we're getting closer and closer to our final highlights. I'm going to take that dragon red because we did not do the back yet. Like so. And then we're going to take our mixture. Same thing, we're just going to barely touch over it. And now we're going to get into pure red. So our pure red, we're going to just highlight the very tops of these wings. Like so. Do the same thing on that side. Now we're going to let that dry. And I'm going to mix that one in a little bit more because that one blended in. And that's another way you can do highlighting is blending. Like so. So I'm going to let this dry. Before I let it dry, I'm going to take that red one more time. to her jewelry. So while she is drawing, we are going to start our strong tone on him. Now I chose strong tone because I wanted to dull down a little bit, but not too much. And in reality, we could really use the flesh tone on it as well, and we might as well. So we're already going to have it out here. So I'm just going to dab that down. Take the brush, pull it out. I'm going to start on the back. I'm starting on the back because the back's where the darkest recesses are going to be. Remember, the front's going to be the darkest recesses, my apologies. I started on the back because it's got the most surface area. If you all remember, this is where we did the Zenithal highlighting as well. So we actually made sure that everything aligned accordingly, and I'm going to bring that down through his legs. Because this will also muddy down that, white, but it will more so make it look more natural as well. And that's our whole goal in this series, is to make it look as natural as possible. But I like using washes on metallics because it actually brightens it up a little bit as well. Or muddies it up a little bit. Makes it look battle worn and used. Okay, we are almost done giving him the wash. I'm just making sure I got everything that needed to be hit with the wash. We are doing the face and the neck as well. I'm just trying to get it evenly coated. Top of the shoulders, top there. Try to not make sure it pulls. So that's what we're going to avoid, is any pulling. On the figure itself, any of the recesses, such as the feet, back of the wings. We just wanted to give it a nice little shade to the highlights. Like so. Now we're going to let him dry, and we're going to see how he turned out once he is dry. Really like how that turned out. So now we're going to do the exact same thing with her. But we're going to try to softly hit thing. What I mean by softly hitting it, I mean, we don't want to go overboard like we kind of did with the other one. We just want, if it's got a recess, or it's got, where we want shadow, or want the highlight definition to show through, we want to hit those. And it's still going to be nearly the entire model, but we don't want it to look as mucky and dirty as the other one. There's tricks that you can do to make sure that that look does not happen. And we will teach you some of those. This was more so, I needed paint on a miniature. Let's see what we can do with what we have. That's what this tutorial was mainly about. And I am impressed with what we got with what we had. Because most of the time you would not get this quality of figure like that. So, just like with him, we are going to let this highlight, we are going to let this rest, and once it is dry, we will come back and I will post them on my Facebook page and my TikTok and my Instagram. Right now, this is what we have, though. I mean, he looks amazing. He's very vibrant. That color stood well. Some of the spots moved, which, in all honesty, is not that big of an issue. And this is what we got with her. She's still drying. But I think she turned out amazing. The red on the ring stuck, which is what we were looking for. All those highlights on the legs and the arms. I'm just moving it around real quick, making sure nothing's sticking deeply into the recesses. And with that, we are done, though. With this series. Like I said, the next series, no, we are not. I got to do her base. That I forgot to do. So like I said, though, once we finish this base, the series will be done. Our next series will be a commission work. And what I mean by a commission work is it's somebody who's paying me to paint their miniature. And it is going to be Leia from episode 6 and Lara Croft, both in bikinis. Now, I do always make sure to mark my videos not suitable for children, just in case we do get a commission that is more risque. And we are getting to that point. And we'll start that series once I get the figures. If I heard him correctly, it should be next week we should get them. Or the end of the week we should get them. And then once we have those, we will be working on them. But that's what we have. Now remember, the goal of these figures is not to be display quality. They're for tabletop ready. If you can see from over here that, oh hey, that's a harpy, or oh hey, that's an Aarakocra, that is what it is going for. It's not, you don't need to get as detailed ever as I did with this one or with my other figures, but I like to because it tests my work. Once again, if anybody has any questions for me, feel free to leave a comment down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. And check out our other social media platforms. With that, thank you for watching. Have a great day.